In this video, I'm going to show you my travel setup for my shaving gear. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB, and thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and as mentioned before, today we're going to be showing you my travel setup. Not too long ago, one of the viewers asked me to show my travel setup. So what I'm taking with me when I'm traveling. Now, understand, this is for folks who are using vehicles, not flying. If you're flying, this is not going to be for you because it's overkill. And the other thing to mention is, keep in mind when I'm traveling with the intention that I'm going to be making content. So I'm probably taking more than you would want to take. But you can incorporate any elements of this that seems to fit your system. Let's start with razors. So if I'm taking a trip of a couple of weeks and I want to have a good variety of things, this is what I take to hold my razors in. And this is a case. It's hard plastic. You can get it on Amazon. It's not very expensive. I'll actually link all the products that are available below the things that I'm showing you in today's video if you're interested. Anyway, this one secures very nicely. It's got some clasps on the front. It's not going to pop open on itself, and I will show you the setup here. And on top here, I have a little piece of that stuff you line drawers with. I'm just covering the top of the razors. But behold, there is our razors, and there are 10 razors in here, and this is foam in here, so it's not going to scratch up your razors. And this foam, there's little bitty squares in here, so you can take those out and you can configure this however you like. And again, I'll link it below. So if I'm going to be gone a couple of weeks, I would take something like this to give me plenty of razors to roll with. And this thing I just popped on the top there just to sort of cover them up a little bit in case they decided to shift around. They're probably not, because you know the top is foam too and it shuts taut, but you know, that is the setup if I'm taking a number of razors with me. It locks up tight, and bam, you are good to go. You got some shaving goodness right there. All right, I know that's going to be overkill for a lot of you. In this bag right here, now this particular bag's about 20 bucks, and it folds up really small when you're not using it. It's really cool. But anyway, I'm just going to pull some things randomly from this particular box. If you're only taking one razor, let me just show you one thing. So this pouch right here comes from Italian Barber, and you just pop the razor in there, and in fact I have a razor in it right now. One thing I want to point out, this has a zipper on it. So what I suggest, if you're going to take a razor in something like this that has a zipper, make sure you wrap your razor in some bubble wrap or something, so just in case it's shifting around while you're traveling, it's going to be covered. And so if it shifts around, that zipper's not going to scratch it. So you always want to be careful with your razors, not scratch them. I'm going to take this one out because I'm going to need it for a demonstration here in just a moment. But that particular pouch comes with razors like this Lupo when you buy it at Italian Barber. I don't know if they sell the pouch separately, but I'll show you some other razor stuff here shortly. So this thing right here, a lot of people are going to be going, what in the world is that? And why is he taking this with me? Actually, I do take this with me if I'm going to be on a trip for a couple of weeks, but at home I use this all the time as well. And this is my drying stand. It could also serve, for those of you who don't have a ton of razors, as a razor stand. You know, if you're not going to put it on display, let's say you got an extra room where you're keeping your razors, bam, there you go. You can put a lot of razors in here. But what I use it for is drying my razors off after I use them. So after each use, I'm going to clean my razors up, dry them and so on. And what I'll do is pop the handle down in there like so, and then I'm going to take the rest of the razor, disassemble it, and I'm going to let it set on those holes and let it dry very, very nicely. Let me reassemble the razor here real quick. But these are inexpensive. You can find them on Amazon, and they'll also serve as a razor stand if you don't have any place to put the razors and you're just going to tuck it away if it's in the closet. You get something like this, and bam, you got room for lots of razors in there. So it's very, very nice and inexpensive. I think these come in, you can, I don't recall if they come in sets. I think I bought a couple at one time, but very, very nice. All right, next we have, this is an element that I use after I'm cleaning my razor. So when I'm done shaving every single time, I'll take a toothbrush with a little bit of like Dawn dishwashing liquid or PAA brush soap or something like that, and I'll gently scrub my razor. Now, if you have high polish finishes, be careful. You want a very soft bristle toothbrush, or don't use a toothbrush at all. But I like to get down in these nooks and crannies like this. And what I do is, after I'm finished, I will take this. It's just an air bladder. Just uses air. And what I will do is I'll have a microfiber cloth, I'll be holding this like this, and I will just spray the water out of those little nooks and crannies to sort of help that drying process kick it off. I use this for straight razors as well. Boom, you finish shaving, you've used your toilet paper to dry off your straight razor. Just give it a burst, you know, and what this does is it'll force the air out of these little nooks and crannies, like the post holes right there. That'll force the water right out, and it just helps with the drying, and all it is just a little simple air bladder. And so I take that with me because I always like to keep my stuff dry. That is very, very important. Even with stainless steel, keep it dry. Obviously, you know, the Captain's Choice bowl goes wherever I do. I use it here. I use it on the road. It is awesome. I love it. This is copper, so you're not going to have to worry about it breaking. If I drop it, worst thing that will happen to it is it will dent. It is really, really robust and nice. It's not too heavy. I really like it. Captain's Choice copper bowl. Next, we just have a couple of sleeves, and I don't remember where I got these, honestly. They're just sleeves for shavettes that I take with me, and I just pop them in there. There are many, many different types of these sleeves. Actually, the Superior Shave has silicone, let's try that again. Silicone sleeves that are very, very nice for using straight razors. You can check those out. If I remember, I'll try to link those below for you. Now, here is something that Scott Rapp sent me. And if you remember in my videos when I was down in Charlotte, we had this brush drying device. So this particular device, you hook it on something, and then you put your brush handle in here. You cinch that knot down, just hang it up to dry. Super cool. I think his name was Scott Rapp sent me this, but I'll also show you later when I get to it one that I made myself, just a paracord. In this, by the way, these zipper pouches are really, really cool. You can get these super cheap on Amazon. I'll link them below. Also, what I have in here is a bunch of PAA aftershave samples like this. So these are samples that are 99 cents each at PAA. It is an excellent way to travel. If you would just want to try a bunch of different scents, again, $1 a piece, you can get between 1 to 2 uses out of these. You don't really have to use the whole sample at a time. And there's enough aftershave samples in here for at least a month of shaving. And so that's one way to do it if you're worried about aftershaves. For soaps, in another zipper pouch here. And by the way, this zipper pouch thing, it came in a kit of different sizes, so it's pretty cool. What I did was buy these little sample jars, and I put numbers on them. And then I write down on my little index cards where I keep my notes what number 10 is. And what I do is I just reuse these. I'll wash them out after I'm finished and use them again. And I know what number 10 is when I look at my index card. And these are fairly inexpensive on Amazon as well. They screw tight. Really, really nice. And look, again, I have probably 15 or 20 different soaps in there ready to go. It's always nice to be prepared. I keep a blade bank with me when I travel. One of the things about travel is you don't want to just throw your razor blades in a little wastebasket or something at a hotel or something. I always like to keep a blade bank with me just so I can make sure I can dispose of those blades properly. Here I have, this is just a PAA bar soap container, and in here's a bar soap that I've used. I think this particular one is a Sterling. This one smells like margaritas in the Arctic, and I like this soap holder quite a bit. It keeps everything really nice and tight. It doesn't pop open on me. This one available from PAA, and again, I know this is a lot of stuff. For keeping my brush good to go, this, I don't know if they sell anymore. This is a Mule brush holder, and it unscrews from the bottom. Very cool. And the brush goes in. And this is the Captain's Choice brush they sent me the other day. I'm going to take this with me. I'm going to be traveling soon. I'm going to take this with me. But anyway, the brush pops down in there like so. And then you screw this together. And it's got ventilation on top. Really, really cool. I don't know if they still make these. It's really awesome though. If you have a really long handled brush though, it may not fit. So if that's the case, you can always use something like this, which is just a brush. This is, I don't know what this was for initially, I should say. What its original use was, but I just drilled some holes in it to put some ventilation in it. Pop your brush down in it, you are good to go. Here we have another zipper pouch, and in this is for when I take straight razors or shavettes. What I have here is some, in this little soap container, this is actually frog lube, the paste. And so if I needed to oil, this is actually a paste, but it's an oil, it's a lubricant and protectant, frog lube. If I needed to oil a straight razor or something like that, that's what I would use when traveling, as opposed to taking the liquid to get all over the place. I'll use the paste and it works just fine. And I have just a little microfiber cloth that's sort of got the frog lube already in it to make sure I'm wiping down my straight razor if I happen to take one. In this pouch, we have just a selection of blades. And one of the finest ways to travel with blades is these little Altoids tins. You can put quite a few blades in there, as you see. And I just have a bunch of random blades in there. Pop the top on that. They are very, very awesome. So if you ever have little tins like this, don't throw them away. Use them for your blades. It's awesome. And I just have a selection of a lot of other blades. Have another Altoids tin. So I like to take a good selection so I can use whatever blade strikes my fancy. Again, another cool zipper pouch. These things are awesome to keep things organized when you're not dropping them all over the place. Have a little paracord there. Don't ask me why. There's always a use for paracord. I just like to keep it in my bag. I think it's awesome. Have we missed anything though? That's the question. Have we missed anything? Oh yeah. So here's a toothbrush. I use this. This is a soft bristle toothbrush. That's what I use to clean my razors with. Here is another travel case for your razors. One of the things I want to point out to you, let's throw a toothbrush over there, is if you're using something like this and it has a snap, make sure you look on the inside to see if that snap is exposed, because if it is exposed, you might want to put something over that. Now this one is not exposed, like the steel of the snap is not exposed, so when you put your razor in there, it's not going to scratch it up. This one is made by Timeless. Again, always feel down in there and look and make sure that that is not just steel, because if you slide that razor in, it's going to scratch it. Nobody wants that. But this particular one, which is Timeless, it's not exposed, it's covered, it's very nice. Your safety razor fits down in there, you snap it, you are good to go. Another way you can travel with the aftershaves, and I bought these on Amazon, or these little, I forget what you call them, but anyway, you can put your own aftershaves in them, and this one happens to be Island Man, and so this top comes off, you just put the aftershave in, and you are good to go. Not very expensive, but it does a great job. Let's see what else we have in here. I always keep my air fresheners with me. You know I do. Those air fresheners that the razor company sends, I'm always keeping them with me. Another thing that I travel with is my little scooper right here. This is just a cosmetic scooper on Amazon. I scoop my soap out of the little sample jars with it. You can buy these. I don't know what the cost is, but I'll link it below. They'll give you a ton of them for not a lot of money. And I was looking for my little homemade brush hanger, but I don't see it. But let me go ahead and show you how the brush hanger works again. I'm gonna take the brush out of here. I just use, I had it and I don't know what I did with it, so I'm sorry. I'd normally show you. I just put a loop on each end of a paracord that will slide and you're good. But Scott has made it a little bit nicer, and that he has a little carabiner on top. And so you can just hook this to anything you like, doorknob, whatever. And what you do is you take this, pop your brush handle in it, cinch it up, and hang it like so. You are good to go. Golden. That way the brush is drying properly, no problems, no bubbles, no troubles. All right, I think I've covered everything today. Did I forget anything? If I did, let me know below what I forgot, because it's entirely possible that I forgot something. But this is mostly what I take with me. Sometimes when I do travel, I'll have soap shipped there, so I'll have the soaps with me. But mostly, I can take all the stuff pretty much in one bag. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention. See, I was thinking about whether I forgot something, and I did. Witch hazel, water, stuff like that. You can get these little travel sprayers, which spray very nicely, boom, just like that. That's just water. So if you're a mister, or you just want to have your witch hazel in an aerosol sort of format, not aerosol, but misting sort of format, here you go. So you can get those as well. I think now I have covered and conquered it all. I know. For some of you, you're going to be going, that's overkill, that's way too much stuff. I get it, but I was asked to show what I travel with, and that is it. Sometimes I'll take the aftershave, a few aftershave bottles with me too. But for the most part, I try to keep it, the size footprint down. And this does, other than this, which, you know, if you're taking a lot of razors, I want to protect them well, because you've got a big investment in the razor. So you may as well protect them. And most of the things I do are to protect the gear. That's what I have in mind, because I want to keep it for a long time, and God willing, use it for a long time. So let me know below, what do you travel with? Do you have any cool ideas for traveling? I would love to hear it, and I want to thank you so much for bearing with me through this long video. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way. And as always, God bless.